Ah, shit. This episode of the BRG Podcast has been brought to you by our patrons. Here at BRG, we'd like to thank those patrons who have subscribed and donated. It is because of generosity like yours that makes this show possible.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the BRG Podcast, where we give you all of the straight news about gaming, as well as a little bit of miscellaneous other random things. We are a wonderful gaming group that loves to do things like this. I'm your host, WarpedJester. This is my co-host, Kirrok.
Hi guys, it's Kirrok here. Hey, how's it going, Warped?
And we love talking about all the latest and what news and whatnots. And this week, in addition to all the news and whatnots we normally have, this was CES week. This is a consumer electronics show. So there's actually a stupendous amount of stuff coming out of CES this year that actually is worth a damn, in my opinion. So I'm definitely wanting to talk about a little bit about that. So I'm looking forward to that. So before we go diving into this, just want to remind you guys, you want to find out more about Ball Rocket in general, we are a gaming group that does a lot of different things, from new media, streaming, and whatnot. We got a huge plethora of people who do all kinds of stuff, including music, you name it. And you can find out all about us over at ballrocketgaming.com. You can also go over to our Discord. Links will be down the thing below, so you can find out about us there. And we even have a Patreon page you can donate to if you'd like. So we'll tell you more about that at the end of this. But first things first, let's get into the news. Okay, guys, let's go ahead and dive into this week's news here. Starting things off with the Strokedoid, we have a wonderful article about EA that has filed patents back in 2016 that has to do with tinkering with online matchmaking. And the only reason why I bring this up because it's now something that's been ratified and approved, and there's basically two halves to it. The first half is it have the ability for them to dynamically change the difficulty of a single-player game to match your current performance. So if you're like super pro running through things, doing 360 no scopes on the monsters, it'll get harder. And if you're tripping over buckets constantly, like Kirrok does in Mafia, then it'll dumb the mobs down, making it easier for you. The second half of it's a little... kind of game. Yeah, it's great. The second half of this patent is related to multiplayer online, where it basically kind of does the same thing, in that when it does matchmaking, it factors in how well or how badly you're doing. It will put you into harder or easier games based on your performance. So if you're having a string of bad luck, you'll start having some good games because it will keep dumbing it down until it finds a level that you're okay at until you get better again.
Gotcha.
I don't know. Could be bad. Could be good.
Could be good. Yeah.
There's always a way to screw things up. Yeah. Oh well, you know what? It is what it is. Moving on. Find my cursor will actually find its way back where it goes. Fans are competing to see who can most quickly disrobe Mario. Yes, you heard that right.
That's pretty funny.
So since Mario Odyssey has come out, speedrunners have been finding all different ways to do speedruns, for things like fewest moon speedruns to least hat capture speedruns, including one called nipple percent, which is the fastest means to get the boxer short purchase, which shows off Mario's big rock hard glass cutting nipples.
That's amazing.
Bare naked nips.
I don't have that game. Keeping on with Nintendo, there was a Nintendo Direct Mini January 11th, and there's some big reveals. I'm just going to go quickly through them. Quick points from Polygon. Donkey Kong is coming to Mario plus Rabbids, so he's going to be a character in that existing game. Ys 8, and I know it's pronounced Ys 8 because I've seen it before. La Crosima of Dana, heads to the Nintendo Switch. Super Mario Odyssey first DLC is adding Luigi Balloon Hunt, Hyrule Warriors with Breath of the Wild content coming to Switch, Kirby Star Allies to Switch in March. Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze is coming to Switch. Mario Tennis Ace is coming to Switch. And Dark Souls is coming to the Switch.
Jesus Christ.
That's amazing. And this is a direct mini. Wow. Actually, leading off that last one of Dark Souls is remastered, is coming out for PC, PS4, and Xbox One, also reported by Polygon. It's pretty much a popular game, and now it's making its rounds, over to the consoles, but in remastered capacity. The game's expected to make its appearance, or I should say reappearance, on May 25th. And it will be HD on all systems, 1080p, including the Switch, in docked mode, 720 in handheld, but in 4K on PC, that's native. And on Xbox One X and PS4 Pro, it is bumped up from 1080p or upscaled to 4K. Still okay. I'm cool with this trend. I don't mind this because it gives me a chance to play a game I might have missed.
I'm getting kind of tired of the remasters. No way to bilk you out of more cash for classic gaming. Speaking of which,
yeah,
it just so happens that Hypergeek plans to release a old retro Game Boy for 2018. So this is going to be a contract for them to create the original Game Boy and all of its wonderful glory. Now the Ultra Game Boy is an aluminum case portable console that resembles the original Game Boy Pocket. This is the old school Game Boy, back from 1989. The system is said to support classic games via original cartridge. Reportedly, you'll have a USB Type-C charging port, as well as 6 hours of battery life, which I tell you is a huge boon from the original hour per set of AA's you have to toss into it. Man, you go on a trip with that damn thing, and you better bring like a Costco-sized box of fucking AA's. Hell yeah. This is speculated to be at a cost of about $100 US.
So I have some PUBG news. It's coming out.
Are they crying again?
No, that's not true. That's not true. No, actually, they're not crying. Apparently, cheating has become a huge problem in this. So this is reported by Engadget in this game. Kind of like, I guess.
Oh my god, I'm so shocked!
Get this. Devs have added a button in replay mode which allow users to report cheating players. So they say it means that you no longer have to wait until you're killed to report a player. Apparently, you can do this when you right-click on their name in the player list or while observing in follow mode. So what's to stop people from using this as an abusive thing? That's the thing I'm thinking right off the bat. But, yeah, I guess it's something that they give as a tool, you know?
So their idea of fixing an issue they're having with their game is to make everybody snitch on everybody else.
Yeah, pretty much.
You know, it hasn't worked for YouTube. Just putting that out there.
That's true.
Switching gears to tech news, guys. We have some news update for Skype. Anybody's using Skype? Skype is going to add the option for encrypted conversation. Now, I find this immensely comical because I could have sworn back in the day Skype had, once you made the connection through the server, it was an end-to-end encrypted element, and then they kind of forcibly rolled that back, so all Skype conversations have to go through the Microsoft servers. But they are bringing this back. So, yay, you have the ability to have encrypted conversations, but if it's going through their servers, then potentially they have the ability to decrypt it, maybe?
Yeah, probably.
And with all the many myriad of issues that Skype has currently, maybe they could fuck off on the new features that nobody needs and actually fix the shit that's still broken on it.
Fix the damn video conferencing.
Full disclaimer, if audio is a little bit off or things look slightly different with Kirok, it's because we're using Discord tonight because Skype went and fucked off.
Yeah. It was like, nope.
Not that I'm salty.
Another program that's made some big improvements are in beta still. This is Streamlabs OBS, live streaming reinvented. So it's actually from the Streamlabs blog. OBS, the company that it's open source software that allow you to stream your games online through Twitch and other services. OBS and Streamlabs have come together. And if you don't know what Streamlabs is, they basically allow you to put all those cool things when somebody follows or registers or subscribes. It pops up on the screen. So what they've done is they've kind of come together and made a new beta that you can download. It's available on their site, and it gives some cool features built into OBS, such as one window that does it all instead of a whole bunch of different windows, built-in widgets, face masks and audio filters, smart video encoding, and overlays and themes all built into the program. So I'm definitely going to look at this later on.
That sounds like it's going to make things a lot easier.
Yeah, so I'm gonna play with that sometime soon. But moving on to some media news now, and this is some cool statistics that I just had to include. So these are Pornhub search stats for 2017. That's right. This is from Pornhub Insights.
Because we know Pornhub's got some good shit. Always.
In 2017, year in review for Pornhub, There was a total of 28.5 billion annual visits to Pornhub, the actual website.
Is that unique visits? Because I'm thinking that's like just going back there constantly.
I don't know if it probably is not, I would say. Going on, though, it says 81 million daily average visits. 25 billion searches performed. That's 50,000 searches per minute. 800 searches per second. And they've, in 2017, a total of 2017, 4,052,543 videos uploaded. That's data transferred, a total of 3,732 petabytes.
I wonder how much of it's revenge porn.
That's petabytes. Gosh. Oh my god. That's a lot of...
That is a boatload of... I'm never going to get into it. Hey, moving on to other miscellany. A woman in a relationship with Tetris. Yes, the game. Tetris. The game, that's correct. Yes. I'm having such a hard time trying to even imagine how to get into this here. So I'm just going to say it straight up. This is freaking weird to me. I'm sorry. I try to be open-minded, but so for those of you who do remember from days gone by, there was actually other instances of humans dating non-human things. There's including a Japanese man that fell in love with and married a digital entity on his Nintendo DS. Now, to be fair, it was actually a female persona on the DS that he was getting married to, not a block dropping game per se.
Legally getting married to.
Yeah. So just so you know, there's actually a name for this. This person, she is a objectum sexual,
okay,
which is identified by the attraction to physical objects. This is a relatively new relationship. She has had relationships before, including a relationship with a calculator, a Garmin GPS, an oscilloscope, and probably the most justifiable, which is a weighted companion cube.
Oh, okay, that's passable. Oh, yeah, it's just so...
Moving on!
Okay, all right. Sorry, I had to. Sick Shower with Your Dad game slammed for promoting child abuse on global video game. This is from Game Platform. This is from Mirror. The Mirror. The game called Shower with Your Dad involves players directing a naked boy to a shower stall in a public bathroom. The aim is to find the correct dad and to start lathering him with soap suds. This doesn't sound right to me, man. Andy Burrows, NSPCCC. CC, Associate Head of Child Safety Online, said any video game that trivializes the norm or normalizes child abuse or treats it as an entertainment is unacceptable. I'm going to go with them on that.
I would absolutely agree with them if that was actually what this game was, which it totally isn't. It
isn't? Okay.
Simple little stupid speed game to find the right thing quickly and move on. It's completely fucking overdone.
Oh, so they're squatting over something.
Yeah, everybody.
Okay.
This is a fine example of, I understand what they're saying, but the fact of the matter is this is so overblown and not what they're saying it is.
Got it.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, there's more. I mean, I don't know if this falls along the same line, but researchers found porn malware in Google Play children's games. Mm-hmm. This is reported by TNW. Security firm Checkpoint, so their name is called Checkpoint, today revealed that it had discovered malware on the Google Play Store disguised as children's games. According to Reuters, the ads appear in apps with titles aimed at kids like Drawing Lessons, Lego, Ninjago.
Yeah, basically they're passing those off as kid games, but then the banner ads in game are for like porn sites. This, unlike the last article,
this is low.
This is why I don't like the last article, because they're harping on stupid shit that isn't actually what it is. They're going overboard. This is a big deal. There is some really dirty ass sleazy SO fucking B that is using the naivety of kids to get clicks on porn sites. This is genuinely sick. This is a person that needs to have a red hot poker stuck up his ass.
But see, I'm looking at this going, isn't there any kind of quality control through the play? Like, they got to be catching this stuff. Like, anyways.
YouTube! How good does that work so far with their automated checksums?
Very good.
Hey, one last thing for you guys. I want to put you on a semi-okay or semi-happy note here, I guess you could say, is the fight for net neutrality isn't dead yet. Now, if you guys have been following along, you know that net neutrality was something that was put in place in the previous, was it 2 years ago? Under the Obama administration by the previous head of the FCC. And then they just recently voted to strike down or roll back the net neutrality rules are put in place. However, Congress is now pushing a bill in Senate that is going to try to basically undo this, basically put net neutrality protections back in place. Again, this would be Congress stopping what FCC is doing and preserving net neutrality, which puts protections so that companies like Comcast and those kind of companies, not allowing them to basically run rampant with however they want to run the internet. So this is a good thing. All the Democrats, save a few, are on board, and even one Republican, as of reporting, was on board with this. To get this to pass, they will need all of the Democrats and at least 2 Republicans on board with them. So here's hoping, and for all you people who are in the U.S., please, 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 please take a few minutes to look up who your Senate person is and give them a quick call and say, hey, I want you to support this bill. Net neutrality is important to me. It takes topside 5 minutes of your time. It really does. Please do this.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, guys, that is it for all the news and whatnots. We want to go ahead and get into the more fun stuff here, so we're going to be right back.
Okay, guys.
Welcome back to another game releases. This is the first game releases of 2018, guys, and I am so excited. We have a few games rolling off from the top in January, and let's get into it. Let's go through these games together. All right, guys, your first game of 2018 is on January 16th, Street Fighter V Arcade Edition, coming out for PC and PS4. It is a fighter, yes, another fighter, but this time around in the Street Fighter V series, they've added in these new cool features called V-trigger attacks. They're also adding in new combos, new mix-ups and abilities, as well as new costumes for the characters. If you like the Street Fighter franchise, and if you like fighters in general, go check the game out. I'm sure you won't be disappointed. And on January 17th, we have Hyper Universe. This is coming out for PC, and it is a side-scrolling MOBA. This game combines action-packed combat and team-based strategy, but it's in a MOBA-esque side-scrolling style, which is pretty cool. The makers of this game say that it is the most customizable MOBA in existence. I watched the video, and it looks pretty, but I really have no clue what the heck's going on screen. As you may have guessed, these kinds of games are not my cup of tea. And your next game is January 19th, Kirby Battle Royale. This is out on the 3DS, and it is a battle-based game. So Kirby's finally joining the Battle Royale action, and this is on that little system that could, the 3DS, just doesn't know when to quit. In this game, you're pitted against several enemies in different types and styles of levels, which is actually pretty neat. Also, you get to compete head-to-head with other people across the country, so it does have a multiplayer online mode. Personally, I don't know if I want to pull that little guy out because the Switch is satisfying my every need. And your last game, guys, is on January 19th. It is The Aquatic Adventure of the Last Human. That's one heck of a long title. It's out on Xbox One and PS4, and it is a 2D style Metroidvania-esque game. This is about a return trip to Earth after some time spent out in space, and you discover all humans on Earth are extinct. Basically, the Earth's polar ice caps have melted, everything is flooded all around the world, the magnetic poles have flipped, and your job is to battle monsters and figure out the fate of humankind, figure out what the hell went wrong and why we're all gone. Pretty cool, and it's an 8-bit style looking game, so it looks really refreshing. Check it out. And there you have it, guys. We come to the end of another game releases, this being the actual first game releases of 2018. Thank you guys for joining me, and I will see you again next week. Bye for now.
All right, guys, let's go ahead and dive into the main topic tonight. And again, tonight is all about CES. So for those of you who don't know what CES is, a quick breather, it is the International Consumer Electronics Show. This is a show where basically it's the biggest gathering of tech for consumers, for us peoples. And inside of that, you're going to find all kinds of things broad, from gaming to home to IoT to whatever else you get. Oh god, it's insane. Just so you guys know, it's an annual thing that happens in Vegas here in the United States in Nevada. This year especially, it's kind of crazy. The entire show floor was a total of an incredible amount of space. It was the equivalent of 40 football field. We're talking about American football fields worth of space. And this goes indoor and outdoor. And it ran from the 8th to the 12th. So we're just closing up after we've gone to recording here. So we're going to have complete news of what's happening with it. And I'm really excited to talk about it. So starting us off, as you can see up already, is the first phone to have an on-screen fingerprint sensor. It is an Apple. It is a Samsung, although they have tried. This is actually from Vivo, I believe, this company. And this is going to be their new flagship phone. Now, the pros about this is it's an on-screen finger sensor, which looks really fucking badass when they actuate it. The downside is people are saying it's a little bit slower than other systems. Looking at the video of it, it is a tad slower to respond. But that said, we've kind of gotten spoiled at how fast things tend to respond. So it's not that big deal. The other one gripe about this phone for a flagship phone is it is using the USB micro standard for their plug instead of USB-C, which seems kind of backwards. But, you know, whatevs. So be it. Also in phone news, it's going to be the Razer Project Linda. Oh my god! 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 Oh my god!
Pretty sick.
Oh my god! Okay, so things kind of like this have propped up in the past. Acer tried to do something like this, had a little phone dock, and the phone became basically the powerhouse for a pseudo laptop. Samsung also has something like this, a little dock you drop it into, and a screen will show something else. What's really, really freaking cool about this thing here is that it is basically a dumb dock with a screen, keyboard, and everything like that. And you take the Razer phone. This is a very squared off, beefy phone that's made for gaming. You drop it in the dock, hit connect, it shoves a little USB connector inside of it, and now you've got a full-on functioning display on screen that has an adaptable OS you can work in. It's not just a clone of the screen of the phone. And the phone itself becomes a secondary screen and touchpad for the freaking thing.
Yeah, that was amazing. I saw that.
I know this has happened, and things kind of like this have happened in the past, but this one looks so plausible and so cool, and I so want it to happen because we are getting to a point where our mobile devices have enough credible power and capacity to be able to do a lot of stuff natively.
That Razer phone has 8 gigs of RAM in it, man.
It's totally plausible, doable. Totally.
So actually, keeping on with Razer gaming devices now sync with your Hue lights. So Hue lights are basically smart lights from the company Philips. And I know I have a few around the house, actually, and I use my smartphone to control them. And so this is pretty cool. Razer Philips have formed a kind of a partnership to let you sync Chroma-equipped Razer devices, including laptops and peripherals. So you can actually control those items. This is pretty cool with Hue lights. In gaming, it support. So you know, if a game supports it, you can change the lighting color of your whole environment in tune with the gameplay.
Can you imagine your entire room changing color? You go into, like, you know, a lava cave, and your entire room turns red.
It's like red. That would be amazing.
Not just like a keyboard, not just the effects line behind your monitor, but your whole room starts to hue along with the game environment. Oh, I'd be so down for that in a heartbeat. Speaking about lightweight gaming, or heavyweight gaming in a lightweight form factor, so to speak, in addition to the fact that we've got light devices like phones and whatnot that are basically light hardware in terms of what I mean by that is no heavy power graphics, hardcore processors, whatnot, but still wanting to be able to play hardcore gaming on it, HP's answer to this is going to be a system they're affectionately calling, was it the Omni, or how do they say it? Omni Gaming Stream, or Omni Game Stream.
Yeah.
So basically,
or Omen.
Omen. Basically, the idea of this is you're basically taking a simple system that may not have the prowess to play a game, but then you're streaming the function you need from something else. Now, this is kind of sort of similar to NVIDIA's game streaming capacity, like the NVIDIA Shield kind of thing. But this is going to be a partnership with a company called Parsec, who's going to do all the encoding power solution on the back end. So basically, you'd have a server farm of beefy systems with beefy graphics cards, and then take your lightweight, say, Razer laptop or whatever the case may be, and be able to play some pretty heavy-duty games like Crysis on anything you want to play. So you'll use the hardware on a remote system and stream it. Now, the catch here is you do want to have an ideal bandwidth of at least 25 megs per second.
Got it.
Good luck with that in America with all the neutrality.
Good luck with that. Going on, Asus Gadget makes 3 monitors look like one, and I was watching the video of this. This is actually pretty sick. They call it the bezel-free kit. At this point, there's no release date or cost set for this, but it basically consists of a series of vertical lenses that use light refraction to create the illusion that your screens, 3 screens set side by side, have no bezel between them. So it meshes them or gives the illusion that they're all one. It's actually pretty sick. If you look at the video, it looks seamless, essentially. Good enough.
I'm trying to figure it out.
How does it do that?
No power. It's a passive solution, but I'm not seeing like images being like stretched across that bezel section. It looks almost right.
So it's like, what, is it recreating pixels and stuff? But that's not possible.
It's not powered. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't.
It's really awesome. I think I like that a lot.
You think? You know what I think? Screw that. Screw him multiple monitors. So says the guy with 6 monitors around him right now.
Right.
What I want is NVIDIA's giant 4K gaming display that is G-Sync compatible. This is a 65-inch 4K HDR PC monitor.
Yeah, it's not a TV.
Let's sink in for a minute. It's not a TV. It's a fucking 65-inch 4K HDR gaming monitor that is G-Sync compatible, which is NVIDIA's pride and joy to keep from having screen shear and tearing on it.
Yeah.
Oh my effing god!
That's incredible.
And it has G-Sync. And it has the NVIDIA Shield technology built into it. So again, stream something else onto it. No dates, no cost posted yet. It's going to be ridiculously, stupidly expensive. But oh my dear God, I want one.
Yours is big, but mine's bigger. Samsung's new 100... The wall can change sizes.
How big is that again?
146 inch.
146 inch.
Damn, man. This is from Business Insider. Samsung introduced DRTV, the company calls the Wall, which is 146 inches of pure visuals. The Wall is also a micro LED display, which carries many of the benefits of OLED, including perfect reproduction of the color black. The kicker is that each micro LED display is modular, so you can custom fit the TV size. The technology allows you, or it's very similar to technology used in scoreboards or on jumbo screens, but scaled for home use. That's pretty sick.
It's little tiles. Yes, they're selling it as a 146-inch display,
right.
But you can buy, like, say, multiples of them and tile them together and have a ultra wide or a 4x. It will work all as one big giant display, or you can make a smaller version of it. So it's literally a customizable screen. Holy shit!
That's pretty cool. There's got to be a limit to how small too, though. Whatever.
You know, it doesn't matter. What I'm also very giddy about, and oh my giddy aunt, is LG. Now, LG came out last year at CES and had this little 11-inch thing rolled up that was playing video on it. And you can kind of look at it, you can kind of flex it a little bit. Well, guess what, people? That wasn't just for show. It wasn't just all show and no go. This right here is a 65-inch roll-up high-def 4K monitor.
Sick.
Literally, it rolls up into this box. There's no shenanigans, no mirrors and smoke here. The thing is actually a rolling screen that can pop out. And the really cool thing about this is it can do things like, for example, if you're watching an ultra-wide movie, it can slim down, so there's no black bars. It just brings the screen down to show that. Or, for example, if you're listening to music, it can go all the way down to leave just a sliver open to show you what, the name of the song, the track, and where it's at in the play. Tell me that's not fucking badass.
That's
lots
badass.
of TV tech this year. That actually was worth something. I was ignoring TV tech all through the couple of days because I'm so burned out on the constant vaporware and the rehashing of shit like 8K that nobody gives a shit about because nothing can play it. And one of my coworkers like, no, you have to go look. There's some shit to look at. Holy crap! He was not kidding. I'm blown away. Awesome. TV is all the rage now.
Yep. I was just watching it actually. So Amazon Fire TV OS is a total no-show at CES 2018. This is reported by The Verge. So last year's Fire TV edition was set to go head-to-head with Roku, and this year it's all crickets. So yeah, where were you guys?
TV's become popular, and Amazon checks out on TV. What the hell?
Like, maybe they got something up their sleeve, but they just didn't have it ready for this year,
Yeah, well, you know what? It turns out that Amazon's actually dating somebody else. Turns out that Amazon's actually going to be rumored with Cortana on Windows, believe it or not.
Okay.
Say it isn't so!
Together?
I know. Hey, you know what? It's modern times. I'm just saying. I don't judge. No,
I might
apparently...
just re-enable it.
And what seems to be kind of a pseudo-interesting / awkward relationship, they will be having Amazon integrate into Windows systems so that you can use Amazon on your Windows PC if you want to. So if you and Cortana are on the outs, you've got another girl you can date. Hey, is the girl who's in love with Tetris listening to this?
So did Google Assistant win CES 2018? This is Recode.
Fuck yeah,
last year's so last year's CES, it seems that Alexa was the belle of the ball. This year's another story. Google has massively upped its game with a whole new suite of Google Home devices announced last year, and add to that seemingly endless list of hardware and products that will basically listen intently when they hear the words, "Hey Google." So they actually, I think I saw a bus with the words, "Hey Google," or was it a train?
They have gone overboard, actually, especially at CES. They actually had a 2-story outdoor pavilion really ramping up and promoting everything related to the Google Assistant. Now, there was one funny little catch with that, being this is a big event that happens every January, during the rainy season. Apparently, the whole setup isn't waterproof. So when people are supposed to be able to go over and visit early on, like pre and beginning of, they had to shut the whole exhibit down, whole display down, and cover everything up with tarps because it was getting rained on. That wasn't going very well for them. So,
oh man, I could only imagine.
Hey Google, where can I buy an umbrella?
And it's, by the way, it's the snowy season here in Canada.
No shit.
Okay, this is the part I'm super stoked about. HTC announces the Vive Pro. So this is from Upload VR, and the headset is reported to have higher resolution display, so 2880 by 1600 pixels versus the old, which is what I have, at 1080 by 1200 pixels. So they say it's a much sharper image. It has dual front-facing cameras, or at least what I could see from the photos. A dramatically reduced screen door effect. That's awesome because I can easily see the screen door effect in mine, which your brain kind of, as you're playing, learns to kind of make it disappear. But it's there, and you can tell, especially on items close up. Standard built-in earphones. So the headset had come out later this year that you can attach to the existing Vive with headphones, but this comes with it. And a new clamping system to secure the straps to the head of the back of your head. So it's no longer like an elastic strap. It's more like the PSVR, which is pretty cool. There are even rumblings of it being available as early as Q1 in this year.
Ooh, really?
I think it was this year. No, or is it Q1 next year? I have to look that up.
Q1 this year would be like coming out now.
Yeah, that would be like coming out now. So it's probably next year. I must have misinterpreted that.
Maybe.
But the rumblings include a possible upgrade program. So I have mine. Maybe send it in, get a dollar value for it, and if that's the case, it's done.
Shock of shocks. Well, while you get yourself an upgrade for that, make sure you get yourself an upgrade for the new E-Skin shirt and jammies. Yes, that's right.
This is cool.
Are you sure? I'm not so sure about this.
It's kind of cool.
So this is literally Under Armour, if you can call it that. You wear that basically has an understanding or understands the presence of your body and its motion, state, and whatnot. So that, say for example, if you want to run through an area, you could actually physically do this, and it would actually understand that you're doing the running motion. And this is not just a shirt. This is a full-on suit, top to bottom. Now, I will say, in all fairness, this is kind of intriguing because having a spatial capacity, and then couple that with technology I've seen in the past that have haptic feedback vests and whatnot built in, so you can actually feel hits and whatnot. Somebody can actually walk up to you and like tap you on the shoulder from behind, and you'd be able to feel it. That would be pretty damn cool, in my opinion. So I'll be honest with you, I kind of have to smirk about this, but we will get there eventually, and this is kind of the grandfather to what will be the technology of that.
Eventually, yeah.
Someday.
Another really cool thing is Intel unveils voxel VR systems that lets you watch football from a player's point of view or step inside Hollywood movies. And I remember we touched upon an article that kind of mentioned this last year. So CEO of Intel, Brian KirrokCraft, says says that next step in immersive VR are voxels. He went on to say that the system can place viewers into football games or into movies, giving them an entirely new viewing experience. This is achieved by placing an array of high-resolution 5K cameras all around the playing area or the viewing area, and it creates a 3D space called the camera ring, or the camera ring. Then points can be plotted within and divided into billions of points. So it's a pretty interesting technology, and it would be really cool to see. I could put my headset on and watch a football game, not that I follow football, and feel like I'm right there on the sidelines, which is pretty sweet.
Yeah, I'm trying so hard to wrap my head around this concept, but you're effectively talking about taking a bunch of 2D video and then extrapolating 3D out of it. So if you've got a ring of cameras around a field, taking video from all different angles, somehow you'll be able to extrapolate 3D so that you can actually watch that whole situation from the middle of the field and have the proper perspective.
And I think you can move around in it too, if I'm mistaken. But
that's kind of frightening at the same time, kind of fascinating.
Yeah. So going on, GM will make an autonomous car without a steering wheel or pedals by 2019.
Will you be able to take it anywhere is the question.
Yeah. So the announcement coincides with the tail end of CES, where a number of big companies announced their own plans to deploy autonomous vehicles, and right before the Detroit Auto Show too. So Ford has said it will build a steering wheel and pedal-less autonomous car by 2021. That's pretty cool. The self-driving unit of Google parent Alphabet is preparing to launch its first commercial ride-hailing service in Phoenix, featuring fully driverless minivans, though it is still with traditional controls. So this is so what happens if the autonomous system dies? How do you move the car? You can only tow it at that point.
Well, if the thing dies, I wouldn't want to make it go anywhere at that point, no. I mean, Here's the thing. We're going to have a negative view on this because we're so used to having control of a vehicle that the idea of not having it is going to be really, really, really awkward and weird for a while.
Yeah.
But generations growing into it aren't going to give a crap. I give GM props for having the balls to say they're going to do it by 2019. But at best, just to achieve this, they're going to have a concept car that's going to come out with no steering wheel, no pedals, that will never see a city street ever. Because right now, there's so many different municipalities that specifically say fine, you could be autonomous, but as a law, you must have somebody in the driver's seat. Well, if there's no pedals in the steering wheel, there is no driver's seat. Therefore, you can't comply. I think a better route for the future, however, is going to be Toyota's new e-palette standard that they've come up with. And this one I'm actually legitimately excited about. And primarily, so first of all, what is e-palette? E-palette is a new concept vehicle that Toyota is going to be working on. It's an autonomous vehicle that's basically like a big giant box van. It's going to come in actually a couple of different sizes. But the idea is it's meant to be a blank canvas. It's going to be a multifunction autonomous vehicle that can provide different services. So to give you an example, it can be adapted to be a autonomous vehicle for ride hailing. So much talking about having a steering wheel-less, pedal-less system, they can go and do ride share, pick people up, drop them off like a municipal service. But it can also be adapted for delivery, so it could be turned into just how you have a best example I can give is a van, your typical classic box van. You can either put a bunch of seats in it and haul people around, or open it all up inside and haul stuff inside of it. But additional to that, you can also license it for things like a mobile storefront, so you bring a storefront to the person, mobile showrooms, as well as a mobile office space. So if you have a long commute, you can actually, say, bug out at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, hop in one of these devices, and for the 2.5-hour ride home that you have, you can still be at your desk working while it's shuttling you back and forth to home. Even more so than that, you can even adapt it as a mobile hotel room. So you can hop in, you have a bed and everything you need, and you can take off, it can roll down the road, take you to your destination for camping, whatever. It takes care of all the driving. You can just rack out, enjoy life, and have a good time with it. It's a really neat concept. It is far off. Say what?
I said rent it by the quarter hour.
Exactly. Now, the visuals they have is where all of the windows are basically translucent or opaque panels that can have displays on them. So you have big giant displays going off on them.
Oh,
wow. The best part about this, I think, is not just the fact that that Toyota is developing this and it's going to be using Toyota's God, what the hell's the platform they call it? It's the Guardian technology, which is their autonomous technology. They already have partnerships lined up with the likes of Mazda, Pizza Hut, and Amazon, but also the e-palette platform is actually going to be an open architecture that any other partner company can use their own automotive technology on this platform. So not just creating their own unique and walled garden for a wireless or an autonomous platform. They're saying anybody else can join, and Ford has already expressed interest. Interesting. Very interesting. So I'm fascinated by that and think it's a great thing. So a couple of little last things here, guys. A couple of funny ones. The FCC had a panel at CES. Now, if you want to talk about chucking the chickens into the wolf den, I think this is about as apt as possible. You just took the FCC, who just voted to repeal net neutrality, and put them square in the middle of the largest gathering of people who actually know what that means and aren't happy about it. And I found this headline especially humorous because of the fact they call it the most boring dumpster fire ever. More so over this, basically the conversation was very bland. They never really touched on net neutrality. Ajit Pai, the head of the FCC, didn't show up because of death threats to him, supposedly. I question that at best, but to be quite fair, the guy's a douchebag anyway. But here's the creme de la creme. Here's what I hear. Here's a picture of the other chair people, the FCC. These are faces that just say it all right here. Not happy to be there. They realize it. It's the worst thing in the world. It was great.
That's great.
Absolutely fantastic. Anyways, one last fun one.
Yeah, wireless batteries, guys. Wireless batteries.
Yay, wireless battery. Wait, what?
COTA. It's called COTA, spelled COTA, is a wireless charging standard from OSSIA, OSSIA. That can be integrated into any new wireless hardware or adapted to work with existing systems via forever batteries, or what they're calling forever batteries. So COTA transmitter contains dozens of tiny RF antennas with similar antennas mounted in the AA battery. They basically look like AA battery stand-ins, and apparently this device can beam power to your device even if there's no direct line of sight, or if you go around a corner. It's supposed to be smart enough to be able to beam that power and bounce it off a wall and get it to you. Yeah, I'm not buying into this personally, but the idea is pretty awesome.
The idea is awesome. And for things like smoke detectors, it might even possibly work. For things like cell phones that get heavy use, things like that, controllers, etc., I highly question. I mean, just getting wireless, quote unquote, wireless technology that requires you to have your phone not only set on a charging mat, but have it set down just right on the charging mat to get the fucker to charge. And you're telling me you can beam power with beamforming?
While I'm moving around, and ain't gonna happen.
I know this technology will come. I look forward to technology coming. There is no way in fuck off hell I would invest even $1 into this Kickstarter. Not even. Anyways, guys, that is it for the CES news. There was a metric shit ton of news beyond this at CES.
Yeah.
We would have a 3-hour show to cover a small portion of it. Again, 40 football fields worth of shit there. Some of it was holy shit stupid. Some of it was actually pretty functionally cool. One little one I saw that I didn't put in here was a fork that it actually basically it's a fork on a gimbal, so people with Parkinson's can actually feed themselves.
Oh,
because it it corrects for the motions. So things like that, some technology like that is brilliant. But then you've got stupid shit there that just never should have been there in the first place. So anyways, I appreciate your time. Hope you guys like this. If you have anything we missed you want to talk about, or have any thoughts and inputs on this, please make sure you make a comment down below. We're gonna go ahead and wrap this up because I'm gonna go to bed, and he really needs to go to bed. We'll be right back.
Hello everyone, Disembodied Voice of ZiplockBob here, and starting this month, once a month, I will take time to talk about some of the amazing things that happen in the world of gaming. Today's topic is about history. Every bit of history has had its way of being preserved. Art has the Louvre Museum, American history has the Smithsonian, there are even multiple programs around the world to preserve film. This brings me to video games and how we have the National Video Game Museum in Frisco, Texas. Their mission statement is to preserve history of the video game industry by archiving not only the physical or digital artifacts, but the information and stories behind their creations. They try to gather as much information as possible through first-hand sources involving the creation and evolution of video game history, both from an artistic and technical standpoint. Interesting as all this is, they make sure patrons have the opportunity to actually play as many games as possible during their visit, further engaging them in what it might have felt like on a December morning and being able to finally play Super Mario Bros. For the first time, or heading to the arcade after school with your friends to play Double Dragon or Street Fighter 2. Even outside of the games themselves, you can find oddities like all the merch that was being sold during the height of Pac-Man fever, or even a Coca-Cola Classic Game Gear. That, as someone that used to live in Atlanta and is a complete 90s kid, I want one of those immediately. I mean, as recent as Rock Band was, and that craze has long since passed, it's really a complete pain to find something as simple as a drum kit from one of those games that hasn't been beaten into complete submission, because whenever I do find one, like say a pawn shop, they've usually seen their fair bit of damage. But places like this is a great way of keeping at least one of those for later generations to understand, hey, this is what Rock Band was, and this is what one of the peripherals looked like, when you can find one in working order. They even have an advisory board with more than a dozen members, including Randy Pitchford, CEO of Gearbox Software, David Crane, co-founder of Activision, and Gary Kitchen, the founder of Absolute Entertainment. And they actually do help maintain one of the largest collections of games, classic, modern, or otherwise, considering the museum spans over 10,000 square feet and about 1,000 square meters for people who believe in the metric system, as well as over 20 areas including Pixel Dreams, A.K.A. the 1980s arcade section, head-to-head hall where you can play some of the games that includes a library of over 12,000 of them. On top of that, they have a giant Pong machine. Jesus, this thing is bigger than my apartment. I wonder if I can just move in and live there. I now see why Randy hasn't given us Borderlands 3 yet. Love your work, man, but seriously, I gotta bust your chops. But controversially, can you please quit beating up kids on Battleborn and get to work? But I digress. Speaking of kids, and adults too, they have ways of using these programs to teach people about science, technology, engineering, art, and math, where one of the future programs will include a hands-on workshop with collaboration of a local university. So it's not just a mindless sort of fun, it is a cool way for people to get into tech that if they weren't already fully invested in the mechanics of it, they can actually find a way of learning about it. And it's actually managed by people who know what they're doing, because as I have a wonderful idea of these little seminars, camps, and workshops are, if they didn't have the proper backing on an academic level, I wouldn't be bringing this up, but they actually do. And thanks to workshops like these, when someone like me who went through these workshops as a young man went to college, I spent the first year of college going, I've already learned this. Why am I here? And it showed me how much of a leg up I had to my peers. So it's something that if you're a parent or even a young adult, you might want to go ahead and try this sort of thing out. And speaking of college, double segue, hot damn, I'm on a roll today. They even give out scholarships to high school students on track to enroll to a 4-year college or university from their local area, but they do keep one of their slots open for the most qualified female applicant regardless of if they're local talent or not, as an effort to try to keep our creators of this medium we all love diverse. There is all this and so much more I didn't even have time to point out, with all the prototypes, source codes, asset libraries, magazines, art, book promotional materials for any type of video game historian, enthusiast level or otherwise. This place is a gold mine. Whether you love console or arcade games or even PC games, even to the days of Tandies and Apple IIs, this place is the type of place I really suggest checking out. And honestly, if you just head over to their website, if you don't live in the Frisco, Texas area, they do upload a lot of their asset libraries online, so you can actually see this for free. So if you guys are in the Frisco, Texas area, give them a visit. Admission is pretty cheap, and who knows, you might be able to find out one more thing to love about gaming. But I'm signing off here and passing the ball back to the podcast proper, and we'll be seeing you in a couple of weeks with my next rant.
Okay, it is time for us to go to bed, so we're going to go ahead and say our goodbyes. But before we go, as always, guys, if you enjoy what you see here, please make sure you visit the individuals. Now, I myself am not doing a whole lot right now. I do have a lot of video that I need to get edited for my Moto vlog channel and whatnot. And I do have an unboxing I'm going to be posting, most likely on Ball Rocket Gaming, just because that's where I put stuff too. But Kirok has a lot of stuff going on. So first of all, he's got a YouTube channel that you need to go and actually visit, because he does have a lot of cool stuff on there. And the vast majority of it right now has been some really fun stuff with Mafia as well as Super Hot. Definitely catch stuff you can.
Went up today.
And where's he getting this stuff from, Kirok?
I'm Twitch streaming it all. I'm live streaming it.
Damn, Skippy. Yeah, if you guys don't know, he is on Twitch, and I definitely recommend you go over there and check him out there, because there's a lot of fun stuff doing that. He's actually playing a really fucked up game today called Inside and Out.
Yes, but it is so good.
It was good. I mean, we were yelling in chat, no, put this over there, put this over here. Great puzzle game. Totally worth watching, so make sure you check that out. And in fact, one of the people in the chat with us today was Hamnisu, who is somebody we've had on here, as well as a member of the wonderful Project Singularity crew.
Singularity. Yep.
Gotta love those guys. I also heard some really good news from Kirok that there's some more Hop-Along coming.
Yeah,
and
there's some more Hop-Along, and we've upped our quality, so we decided, okay, let's invest in good mics.
They're gonna sound good.
Yeah, so last night we did a couple of show recordings. I'm trying to see if I can get them out next week and the week after. Otherwise, they'll bleed into February. But these are going to be amazing. We were actually even using an iPhone X or 10 to record in 4K, so our video's gone up too. Yeah, so this is my first time editing in 4K, so I can't wait.
I like it. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Hey, guys, we're at 19 subs. Let's get them over 20. Let's keep it going here, guys. Again, if you enjoy stuff like us, you definitely want to make sure you check out them as well. And speaking of us, of course, we talk about the wonderful BottleRock Gaming Group. As we said earlier, we are a community of gamers and new media types, where people that love to do gaming, love to do videos, love to do music, you name it. We are the new media hub. We are such a wonderful entity of people that love to hang out and do stuff. I definitely encourage you to check us out. You go over to BottleRocketGaming.com and check out everything there. That website's really good for like seeing what events are coming up. If you really want to chat with us, make sure you head over to the Discord channel. Links are down below. And you can check us out there. This is where we do a lot of our chatting. So if you want to actually catch us and say howdy, 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 this is the way to do it. So definitely make sure you head out over there. And of course, you guys should already know that we do have a YouTube channel, because here we are doing what we do best. And this is give you all the fun stuff to watch here on the YouTube channel. We would love to see some more people join us on this. So again, if you enjoy what you see here, please make sure you give us a thumbs up. Please make sure you hit the subscribe button. We certainly do appreciate that. We're trying to get ourselves up there to that 100 sub marker, because that'd be kind of a cool little... We can do it.
Yeah.
It's an arbitrary number, but by God, we're going to hit it one of these days, and we appreciate it. And if you guys do like watching things in live, in the raw, I definitely recommend you guys head over to the wonderful world of Twitch and check out BottleRock Gaming on Twitch. When we're not having a bunch of live stuff going on, personally, we are oftentimes hosting people who are doing stuff over there, so definitely make sure you check that out. We appreciate it. And last but not least, and of course, always helpful is our Patreon account. All the money goes into Patreon and goes right back into the community to help people out by buying them games so they can play with us for different events, doing giveaways and whatnot. So again, if people who are donating to the Patreon account, we do appreciate it very much. Likewise, guys, if you want to find other ways to help us out, I definitely encourage you to get involved. We are looking for more people for the community, both for the aspect of the podcast, helping us out, do stuff in the podcast, from doing segments, doing editing, doing TDing, etc., as well as for the BottleRock Gaming community itself. We're looking for people who can help us out with promotion, management, like Twitter account management, etc., things like that. So if you are interested in a community where you can be a part of it and actively do stuff in it, I definitely recommend you come over and check us out. Again, guys, thank you so much. We do appreciate it. And I think next week is actually going to be just a good old, finally classic, normal, regular week.
Run of the mill. Yeah.
No events. I could be wrong. Check the calendar later, but nevertheless, I think we're finally back to a normal event day. All right, guys.
Awesome.
Have a great night. We'll catch you next week.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.